Hey people, so this friend of mine kept asking me about how to get power and how to get wheat and make stuff. So, I just did this casual video thing. And basically what this is a bone meal powered machine that will just produce wheat and seeds for you. And it uses mostly red power stuff. And I screw up a few times in this making of it, but it's just a casual demonstration anyways. So don't take this as like a super serious 100% efficient tutorial thing. Yeah. And so basically the concept behind this is that you use deployers to put down seeds, then you use more deployers to put down bone meal, and you just break the stuff with block breakers. And then that gives you the seeds back and gives you wheat. And you can't turn red power stuff with omni wrenches, which kinda sucks. Okay, so um, here we're bone mealing, we're hoeing the land there so that we can plant stuff. And here you want to watch out for the connections between the redstone tubes and the various machines we're using, because we want those different rows to be powered separately, and we also don't want items flowing into the wrong things. So just use covers to cover that stuff up. Okay, so because we're using these redstone tubes here, you have to be careful that any other item directing things that you put in the way don't get redstone signals and get screwed up. So here we're using a filter to separate out the seeds from the wheat, and we have to keep it a slight ways away from those redstone tubes so that they don't cut off the filter. And also remember that items can go into filters from the side, so you want to try and prevent that. So what that tube there is doing is um, it's filtering out the seeds and putting those seeds into the deployers on the right side so that they can basically keep themselves infinitely supplied with seeds. And of course you also get wheat when you break fully grown wheat, so you need somewhere for that to go. And of course, once those deployers get full, you'll also need some place for the extra seeds to go. And I didn't have any wood for for any kind of storage really, so I just went and chopped down a tree for some planks to make some chests. And you probably want to do something else with that stuff, but for this demonstration, just a couple chests do just nicely. And we're using that restriction tube there to make sure that seeds try and go into the deployers before they try to go into whatever storage you have set up. While the wheat, which doesn't get allowed through that filter, just goes straight to that chest. Okay, and so here what we're doing is we're putting down some red alloy wire so that we can connect to those redstone tubes. They're a little bit finicky with what they want to connect to. Okay, so now we're laying down the base for a little bit of redstone wiring that we're gonna do to make sure that this thing operates properly. And the wiring that I'm about to do is basically intended to trigger these three different rows in an order that plants them and then bone meals them and then grows, yeah, bone meals them and then harvests them in the right order. So the redstone I'm about to put down could probably be done a lot more compact with some of the like red power stuff, but I'm lazy and didn't want to make that stuff, so whatever. And of course, red power interacts with vanilla redstone kinda oddly, so I had to mess around with it a little bit to make sure it worked. So, this kinda took a little bit, but I got there eventually. Okay, so the point of these repeaters that I'm putting down is A, to transmit the redstone signal into those blocks that the red wire is attached to, and B, to provide the timing that you need to trigger those three things in the right order. Okay, so here I'm setting the right one to a regular 1 tick delay, the left one to a 3 tick delay, and the middle one to a 5 tick delay. So that's 2 ticks between each one, and that's what I found worked out best, because oftentimes just 1 tick didn't really seem very good. Oh, actually, I guess I set the middle one to even a little bit longer. And then you can attach all those redstone wires together and then get some kind of power source. You'll eventually want to use some kind of clock or timer or something, but to demonstrate we can use a button. And so press it and those three things get triggered 1, 2, 3 like that. Alright, so we can fill up these deployers a little bit faster. I decided to fill them most of the way with something that cannot actually be deployed, such as sticks, and since I do not have wood, I went to chop down another tree to get sticks. So the point of filling these things up most of the way with sticks is so that they won't have stacks and stacks of seeds and bone meal in them, and you'll start getting like a surplus faster. Okay, and so now we can test it, and it plants it, bone meals it, and collects it, so it kinda works. Now, of course, if you want to run this continuously, you need to have constant input of bone meal, which you can kind of get from, if you have soul shards installed, from soul shard spawners, and a little bit of auto crafting to turn bones into bone meal. But that's not really too complicated. You can probably find tutorials for it elsewhere. And so here's just attaching a timer to it so that the deployer and the filter that would hypothetically pull from a source of bone meal get triggered at regular intervals. Okay, so that's pretty much all the important stuff. Now it's just me fiddling around with it, making sure it's working right. And, of course, not completely fixing it because it's broken. But, I'll try and cover some of the stuff this can be used for, and maybe how to feed it with bone meal a little bit later. So thanks for watching.